The room was filled with smirks, quiet chuckles, and a weight of skepticism that pressed down on her like a physical force. Every eye in the briefing room followed her, not with respect, but with doubt. Whispers floated through the air. Can she really do this? Does she even understand the range calculations? The tension was thick, almost suffocating, and for a moment she questioned herself. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you rewatching from. I love knowing who's listening. Her name was Lieutenant Mara Quinn, a sniper whose reputation was still in the shadows, overshadowed by the louder voices of men who underestimated her at every turn. Today's briefing was meant to be a formality, a simple presentation of a mission she had meticulously calculated. Yet the room treated it as a spectacle, a trial, to see if she would crumble under judgment. The sun outside slanted through the blinds, cutting thin lines of light across the worn briefing table. The air smelled faintly of coffee and fear, the faint hum of fluorescent lights filling the background like the drumbeat of unspoken challenges. She steadied herself, sliding the laser rangefinder and ballistic charts across the table with deliberate precision. Every microsecond of her training whispered in her ears, calm, controlled, prepared. The mocking voices continued, low and almost casual. Some laughed softly, hiding their uncertainty behind bravado. Others leaned back, arms crossed, eyes scanning her like a hawk trying to predict her failure. Mara's fingers trembled not from fear, but from anticipation. She had spent years perfecting every shot, every angle, every environmental calculation. The room's derision would not define her. She thought she'd never see them respect her. She was wrong. The mission was simple in briefing but lethal in execution. Intercept a high-value target across a distance so vast that ordinary snipers would be ineffective. She had spent nights calculating wind drift, elevation adjustments, temperature effects, and even humidity changes that could affect the trajectory. And now, it was her moment to prove it. Her voice broke the tension, soft but unwavering. The coordinates are set. The wind vector has shifted slightly from the standard pattern. Elevation is 1,247 meters. Target movement is predictable. With the calculated adjustments, the shot will be successful. Laughter erupted again, sharp and condescending. One officer leaned forward, smirking. Are you sure about that, Lieutenant? This isn't theory Classette's a live scenario. Hundreds of lives could hinge on your math. She met his gaze evenly, letting no flicker of doubt escape. I am certain, she said calmly. My proof will be in the results, not words. The team moved to the operational field, a sea of military discipline and controlled chaos. Mara adjusted her scope, each movement precise, breathing synchronized with her heartbeat. Around her, the wind whipped across the desert, carrying dust that glinted in the sun. Every environmental factor had been accounted for, every detail scrutinized. Yet skepticism lingered behind her, like a shadow that would not let go. The first moment of tension came as the target moved into range. Mara's breathing slowed, the world around her sharpening in clarity. The murmurs of doubt faded as she lined up the shot, adjusting for distance, angle, and wind. Every fraction of a second felt stretched. Yet she acted with the confidence of someone who had prepared for a lifetime of moments just like this. Then she fired. The rifle spoke once, a controlled, echoing command across the valley. The target went down precisely as Mara predicted. Silence fell first, a stunned vacuum of disbelief. And then the murmurs erupted. This time, not with mockery, but with awe. The officer who had sneered earlier froze, eyes wide. How? Mara lowered her rifle, allowing a slow exhale to escape her lips. She had done more than hit a target. She had proven the power of preparation, patience, and calm under pressure. Around her, the team reacted. Some clapped softly, others whispered respect in hushed tones, the weight of doubt replaced by admiration. The mission had been a success, and the proof lay before them, undeniable, irrefutable. Mara's calculations, her training, and her instinct had transformed skepticism into certainty. She remembered the nights of doubt that had shadowed her career, moments when peers mocked her precision, questioned her decisions, or dismissed her intuition. Every scornful laugh, every sideways glance, every whispered comment had led her here, to a moment where proof silenced all doubt. Lieutenant Harper, who had overseen countless missions, approached her with a rare smile. "You've just set a new standard for all of us," he said, voice thick with respect. "Not just skill, but focus, preparation, and courage under scrutiny." Mara nodded, her hand still steady on the rifle. She allowed herself a small smile. It was not triumph she sought, but acknowledgement that expertise, when paired with persistence, can overcome prejudice and doubt. The room outside the operational field buzzed now. But the lesson remained. Respect is earned in action, not in briefing rooms. And courage is proven in moments where skepticism looms largest. Later, as Mara returned her rifle to its case, she glanced at the charts, the calculations, and the trajectory logs. They were more than paper, they were evidence of her dedication, a reminder that even when mocked or doubted, preparation and skill can speak louder than any voice. Because courage doesn't announce itself, it manifests quietly in action. Because proof doesn't need applause, it commands respect. And as the sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the desert, Mara knew she had not only completed a mission, but had shifted perceptions, one shot at a time. The team gathered, now fully aware of the depth of her expertise. Whispers of admiration floated through the air, replacing doubt with a profound respect that would last far longer than the mission itself. Every Marine who had laughed, every officer who had questioned her judgment, had witnessed firsthand the undeniable proof of her skill. In that quiet aftermath, she allowed herself to breathe. The desert wind whispered against her face, carrying with it the acknowledgement that sometimes one woman's mastery can change the mindset of an entire unit. If this story inspired you, share your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters. And for more riveting tales of courage, precision, heroes who prove themselves against all odds, subscribe to Whispered Words. The next story is already waiting.